Welcome to our culinary journey around the world. I'm Frederick Okeyo, and I'm excited to explore the most comforting winter dishes each country has to offer. Get ready to discover bold flavors, rich aromas, and hearty meals that'll make you want to snuggle up by the fire. So grab your apron, sharpen your knives, and let's get cooking. First stop, France. Now, French onion soup. This classic dish is a staple in French cuisine, known for its rich, deep flavors and comforting warmth. It's not just soup, it's a masterpiece, a true labor of love that brings together simple ingredients to create something extraordinary. Slowly caramelized onions simmered in a rich, deeply flavorful beef broth. The process is slow but oh so rewarding, and that crusty bread and melted Gruyere cheese on top. It's the perfect finishing touch that makes this soup irresistible. The key to a sublime French onion soup is patience. You can't rush the caramelization process. Caramelize those onions low and slow, letting them turn a gorgeous golden brown. This is where the magic happens. We're talking at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour of cooking those onions until they're sweet and practically melting in the pot. It's worth every minute. Once those onions are caramelized to perfection, we hit them with a good glug of dry sherry or white wine. This adds a wonderful depth of flavor. This deglazes the pan, lifting up all those lovely brown bits and adding another layer of flavor to our soup. It's these little steps that make a big difference. Next comes the beef broth. Use a high-quality broth for the best results. And listen, don't be shy with the seasoning. This is where you can really make the soup your own. We want this soup to be bursting with flavor. Taste and adjust as you go. A good pinch of salt to bring out all the flavors. Some freshly ground black pepper for a bit of heat, maybe a bay leaf or two for good measure. These herbs add a subtle but important layer of flavor. Now, ladle that steaming hot soup into oven-proof bowls, making sure each bowl gets a generous amount of onions and broth. Top each one with a thick slice of toasted baguette. This bread will soak up the flavors beautifully, and a generous handful of grated Gruyere cheese. The cheese will melt and create a deliciously gooey topping. Pop those under a hot grill until the cheese is melted, bubbly, and slightly golden brown. And there you have it, a symphony of flavors in every spoonful. Next up, we're heading east to Japan for a big steaming bowl of ramen. This iconic dish is a staple in Japanese cuisine, especially during the cold winter months. Ramen is more than just a quick meal, it's a way of life in Japan. From bustling city shops to quiet countryside eateries, ramen is enjoyed by people of all ages. The heart and soul of any good ramen is the broth. It's a labor of love that requires patience and precision. We're talking hours of simmering pork bones, chicken carcasses, or even fish heads to extract every last bit of flavor. This slow cooking process is what gives the broth its deep, complex taste. The result? A rich, savory, umami-packed broth that'll warm you to your core. It's like a hug in a bowl. But ramen isn't just about the broth. The toppings play a crucial role in creating the perfect bowl. It's about the toppings too. Each ingredient adds its own unique flavor and texture. Tender slices of roasted pork belly, known as chashu, melt in your mouth. Soft-boiled eggs with perfectly jammy yolks, earthy mushrooms, crunchy bamboo shoots, and chopped scallions. Each topping complements the broth and noodles perfectly. And let's not forget about the noodles. They are the backbone of any good ramen. Those perfectly cooked, springy noodles that soak up all that delicious broth and make every slurp a flavor explosion. It's a sensory delight. Whether you prefer them thin and straight or thick and wavy, there's a perfect ramen noodle out there for everyone. Each type offers a different texture and experience. Ramen is all about customization. You can tailor it to your taste and preferences. Experiment with different broths, toppings, and seasonings until you find your perfect bowl. The possibilities are endless, making each bowl of ramen a unique culinary adventure. Now let's hop across the Pacific to the east coast of the United States, where the winters are cold and the food is warm and comforting. Here we find a taste of pure American comfort food, clam chowder, a dish that has been warming hearts and souls for generations. This creamy, dreamy soup is like a warm hug in a bowl, perfect for those chilly nights when you need something to warm you from the inside out. There are two main types of clam chowder, each with its own unique flavor and history. New England clam chowder, which is creamy and white, rich with the flavors of the sea and the farm, and Manhattan clam chowder, which has a tomato base, offering a tangy and slightly lighter alternative. Today we're going for the classic New England style, a favorite among many for its creamy texture and hearty ingredients. The key to a good New England clam chowder is to start with a flavorful base, which means using the freshest ingredients you can find: diced onions, celery, and potatoes, all essential for building that rich, hearty flavor, all cooked down in butter until they're soft and fragrant, releasing their natural sweetness and aromas. Then we add in some flour to create a roux, which is the secret to that perfect, thick consistency, which will help to thicken our chowder and give it that lovely, velvety texture. Next up, the clams. Fresh clams straight from the sea, steamed open in some white wine, adding a subtle depth of flavor, then chopped up and added to the pot along with their flavorful juices, ensuring every bite is packed with that ocean-fresh taste. Finally, we stir in some heavy cream and milk, creating that signature creamy texture that New England clam chowder is known for. Season everything generously with salt, pepper to bring out all the flavors, and a pinch of cayenne pepper for a touch of heat, adding just the right amount of kick to this comforting dish. Now let's jet off to Brazil for a taste of their national dish, feijoada. This hearty black bean stew is packed with flavor and history, and it's the perfect dish to warm you up on a cold winter's day. Feijoada is a true celebration of Brazilian cuisine, and it's a dish that's meant to be shared with family and friends. The heart of any good feijoada is, of course, the black beans. They're soaked overnight to soften them up, then simmered low and slow with aromatic vegetables, smoky bacon, and flavorful cuts of pork until they're meltingly tender. Feijoada is traditionally served with white rice, sautéed collard greens, and farofa, a toasted cassava flour mixture that adds a delightful crunch to every bite. And for a touch of freshness, a squeeze of lime juice is an absolute must. Feijoada is a true labor of love, but trust me, the end result is well worth the effort. Finally, let's journey to Morocco for a taste of their iconic soup, harira. This fragrant and flavorful soup is a staple in Moroccan cuisine, often enjoyed during the holy month of Ramadan. Harira is a beautiful blend of textures and flavors, with a rich and savory tomato base, tender lentils and chickpeas, and a touch of sweetness from dried fruits. We start by sautéing onions, garlic, and ginger until they're fragrant, then add in our spices, turmeric, cumin, coriander, and a pinch of saffron. Next, we stir in our lentils, chickpeas, diced tomatoes, and chicken or vegetable broth. We add a handful of dried apricots or dates to the soup, which adds a touch of sweetness and complexity to the flavor. We let the soup simmer gently until the lentils and chickpeas are tender, then finish it off with a squeeze of lemon juice and a sprinkle of fresh cilantro. The result is a fragrant, flavorful, and utterly satisfying soup that's sure to become a new family favorite. Thanks for joining us on this delicious journey around the world. We've explored some of the coziest, most comforting winter dishes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more mouth-watering content. Stay warm and happy cooking until next time, from my kitchen to yours.